morning, my name is DeStefano, and I'd like to take some time to give you a brief overview of some of the exercises that I do when I conduct senior fitness classes. The first thing we're going to start with is we're going to start with our warm-up. Warm-up is pretty important. We want to make sure, I always like to know what my muscles are capable of doing before I begin a workout. And I think it's a really good way to test the water, so to speak. So it's important that you take the time to do a little bit of warm-up before you do any exercise routine that you might be involved with. Get those muscles ready for the work they're going to go through. Most of the exercises we do these will be related to almost every joint in the body. So, and I've done a calculation before, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but there's better than 200 movements that we do in an exercise to exercise all of the joints of the body. That's a really important part because you've got to understand the mechanics of the relationship between the joints and the connective tissue and the muscle tissue. They're very, very important. So we walk through a little bit of a warm-up first, and beginning with the top of the body, I usually go right through the motion. I either start, depending upon the mood I'm in, it depends upon whether I go from the foot to the top of the body, or whether I go from the top of the body to the bottom. In any event, today we're going to start off with top to bottom. And for the shoulders, I like to rotate those shoulders. This is a complex joint, and rolling them forward, rolling them back, sorry, that's what we're doing, backwards, back, back, and then bring them forward. Really good, excellent. And then out to the side, and just take your fingertips and envision that you're drawing circles and rotate them. This is the unique thing about it's a ball and socket joint, the shoulder, and therefore you got a great range of motion here where you can go all the way back and then bring it all the way forward and back and forward. Good job. Okay, excellent, nice. All right, and there's a couple more we can do with our anterior deltoids, but more of that when you're actually in a full class. Back to a little bit of some turning. I like to take the hands up and fingertips to the head and just rotate a little bit, and then rotate a little bit more, and rotate a little bit, and rotate again, and a little bit more. It's a good time to talk to you a little bit about range of motion. It's very, very important that you just work with the range of motion that your body is capable of. And each one of us are going to be unique and different. The person sitting next to you may be able to go full range of motion, and a broader range of motion. So a range of motion is really about, here's the starting point, and here's the range of motion that I have. And I come back, and then the starting point on the other side. There's your range of motion. So, and as your muscles begin to become acclimated with the actual work that they're going to do when you go to exercise, they're going to become a lot more, there's a lot more capacity that the muscles are able to do. So don't fret today in the beginning if this is the first time you're doing an exercise like this, because over time you'll get to a place where you'll have good range of motion. And again, that's from the starting position to where you finish. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and then another range of motion I want to do with you is I want to talk to you a little bit about range of motion in the knees. So we're going to take the knees, but actually when I come up, I'm sorry, not the knees on your hip joint. So we're going to just draw some circles. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7. And then on the other leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Awesome, good job. And then I want you to extend your foot forward. We're going to work on loosening up the ankle a little bit. And we're going to do circles there too. We're going to draw. We're going to take our toes, fixate yourself on the toe in front of you, and then just draw some circles. And it's all done, the movement comes from the ankle, and this is a really complicated exercise to do. Most of us, this is probably the first time you may be doing this type of an exercise. So just work with it, and you will be able to get to where it needs to be. And then out in front with the other leg, and same thing. We're going to do the range of motion. And excellent, and bring it back in. Good job. Now, the other thing I want to talk a little bit about, and then we'll move on for some more exercise. I just want you to understand the importance of your breathing. Breathing is really important. A source of energy for the muscles is oxygen. And the oxygen is important, and your breathing is important for you to supply the muscles. For the muscles to really do work, they need oxygen because it's their source of energy. So we want to make sure that we're always doing that. We're never ever holding our breath. That will spike your blood pressure a little bit. So don't want to do that. We just want to be able to run through good a rhythm with our breathing. And in many instances, when you're doing the work, you exhale, and therefore you want to sort of think about the work. You're exerting some work, right? You're exerting some energy, exerting some force, and exhale and exert. All right, let's get started. So I usually, again, I go from top to bottom today, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with those shoulders. And we're going to go take it up, and we're going to go up and down, and up and down, and up, down, and up and down. Good job, okay. And then, so different muscle groups, different muscle group here. I mean, both basically the same, but there's 3 different muscles that make up kind of a little bit of the muscle, the muscles that make up the ability for the shoulder to do the thing that it actually does. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on our medial delts, which are right on the side, and we're going to go out and up, out and up, out and up, out and up, and out and up. Good, awesome, good. Alrighty, and then we're going to work on the back, the posterior. And so the posterior or the rear deltoids, and we're going to come up, and we're going to, almost looks like we're doing some interesting way of praying, but in any event, let's just open it up, open, and then close, and open, and close, and open, and close, and open, and close. And then in the front deltoids, right there, and we're going to just arms to the side and up and down, and up and down, and up and down, and then across the top here, your trapezoids, we're going to come up and shrug it up, and shrug it up, and shrug it up, and up. Good job, okay. Alrighty. For our chests, a good way to do it is just to take some good range of motion and think about the movements of, if you put your arms all the way out to the side, the palms are going to face forward, and shrink. Listen to me. Sorry about that. Compress, and compress, and press, and press, and press. Awesome, good. All right, and on the back side, we're going to go ahead and row it in, and take those muscles in the back and let them touch one another. Just envision you're moving the muscles towards one another, towards the center, along where the spine is. Excellent, good. Okay, nice job. All right. The arms, the important part of the arms, got different muscles that we can use. And the arms start with doing things like, there's a brachialis here, there's a biceps. Well, there's actually a combination of muscles that make up the bicep. And then there's the triceps. So the biceps, 2 different actual muscles, the triceps, 3 muscles, okay, under here. So starting off, we're going to start off with our biceps. And we're going to go out to the side, and we just off to the side, and we're going to just bring the fingertips to the top of the shoulder and out, and to the top of the shoulder and out, and top of the shoulder and out. Awesome. Good. Okay. Alrighty. And then for the brachialis, if we go this way and we come up this way. So we call these kind of like they're hammer curls, a little bit of a, this, like you can, the movement of a hammer, and there's a, like the hand looks like it's going to be a hammer. In any event, we come up and then down, and up and down. And when you think about it, squeeze it up at the top, and squeeze it. When I say up at the top, look where the hand is as opposed to where the actual elbow is. But squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze. Alrighty. Triceps, and triceps. Pull those hands over one another like this, right out in front, and just bring the hands so they point right out straight ahead of you. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Excellent, nice job, all right. And then an alternate, we're doing overhead extension. So we're coming up and over the head, or some of you, if this is what you've got, this is what you got. But we're gonna go up and we come down, and then we go up, and we go up, and we go up, and we go up. Excellent, nice. So all these movements we go through, they're all with the intent of making the muscles stronger. And there's a process that the muscles go through. And actually, when we're in a class, I'd have more time to talk a little bit about the actual process of how we get stronger. And that is so critical, especially when you go to something like the muscle groups that make up the legs, because muscles are really important. They help you get where you need to go. It's important to do some walking, because walking is really critical in maintaining a healthy heart. Because part of what the muscle, the movements that you do when you're walking is all about aerobic exercise. And so it gets the heart stimulated and to create the blood flow out to the various extremities of where the work is happening. So for the legs, we always do a little bit of a movement here with the quads. Very large muscle group right up here on the top side of the leg, at least when we're seated, and we extend it and extend and extend and extend and extend. We're going on the other leg and we're extending. Good. And again. And during class, I'll actually have you place some time to go put your hand actually over an area where this specific movement is contracting the muscle, and you'll be able to understand what's the benefit you're going to be looking for. That's the extension. On the other side, we have our hamstrings, another large muscle, and while in seated exercise, I always come up a little, and you'll notice most of the time when I'm seated in the chair, is I'm literally almost sitting on the edge of the chair. But sit at a comfortable place for yourself. And if you can do at least midway, right, you're going to have a lot more of the muscle to be able to contract, because when the muscle is seated out on the back on the platform, on the padding of the chair, it's a little bit difficult for that muscle to get the actual movement. So in any event, so we start with the heel, extended leg on it with the heel on the floor, and we bring the leg back and we try to touch the toe. And then we go heel and toe, and heel and toe, and heel, and then we squeeze, and heel and squeeze. And on the other leg, heel and toe, heel and toe, and heel and squeeze. Excellent. Alrighty. We're going to work on our hip flexors a little bit and loosen them up, because hip flexors, the flexors are connective tissue. They connect the tissue, the muscle tissue, to the bone. And we're going to go out and we're going to do some abducting movements. out and in, out and in, and out, and out, and out, and out, and out, and done. All right. Calves on the back, one on the front as well, and we're going to come up on our toes, and up on our toes, and up on our toes, up on our toes, and then up on the toes, and then right along the outside of the leg, right adjacent to the shin. There's a muscle group right here in front, and to exercise that, we're just going to lift the toes. Heel stays on the floor, and lift, and lift, and lift, and lift. All right, so there's a running through the entire scope of the body, from shoulders down to the feet. All right, next up, there's a couple of little aerobic exercises that we can mix in when we have a longer period of time to work on. And one of them that I like to do is also will help with your core a little bit. And from here, so feet on the floor, hands, fingertips right up at the sides of your head, and taking the knee from your, let's say from my right side, your left, if you're looking at me, and you bring the knee up and the elbow touches, and then you do it on the other side. And this twisting motion will take care of some of the abdominal muscles that you have and help to make them stronger again, because what it does is it introduces this contraction in the muscle and gets the muscle a little bit stronger. So, another thing that we can do is we'll do some movements where we get the extremities moving in kind of sync at the same time. And so we'll put an arm out, and then the right hand down to the left toe as best you can, but remember to just comply with your range of motion. And then on the other side, and then up, down, and then down, and up, and down, and up, down, and up, down, and up. Good. All right, and last up, we can also do just the range of motion we'll do some more work with the core, and we do this. We'll take the hands up, looking like a little goal post, and we'll take the elbow from the right hand and lifting the leg up, the left leg up, working in the direction where the elbow is attempting to meet the knee, and on the other side, and on the other side, and on the other side. Okay, and a couple of exercises. We'll do some warm-up exercises. Oh, not warm-ups, cool down, sorry, my mistake. And then, so out, we'll stretch the leg out. This is good to do this, especially since the leg was the last muscle group that we worked on. Heel on the floor, interlock the fingers on top of one another, put your hand on the middle of the thigh, midway between the hip and the knee, and travel down. And again, everybody will have a different range of motion, so everybody, this is your starting point, and then back up. And then, when I say the starting point is how far down you can actually extend that, right? So you'll see people probably on either side of you or behind you or in front of you who seem to be going all the way around and can look and grab the ankle. And that's just what their range of motion happens to be. But they've probably been working at it a lot longer. And then back down and up. And then foot in, extend the other leg out, heel again on the floor. Move the hands over to the second leg, and down, and back up, and down, and back up. Excellent, good. Alrighty, we'll work shoulders out a little bit. Take the left arm, bring the left arm, cross it over the body. Take the underside of the wrist, put it right above where the elbow is, and just kind of pull the arm towards you a little bit, and then let go of it. And then again, you're going to take this arm, and then we're going to take the other hand, the left hand, come up to the right elbow, and then pull it in, and let it go. And the last one we'll work on is we'll go back to fingertips up along the side of the head, and then we're going to pivot to one side, and we're going to come face forward, and then we're going to pivot to the other side and come forward. Pivot and forward, and pivot and forward. So there you have it. I like to call that's the trailer for the movie called Exercise is Medicine. So I look forward to seeing you in a class at some point in time. Have a great day. Bye.